Hi, I'm Karl Konrad and welcome to our weekly edition of Australian Immigration News. If it's moving and shaking in the world of Australian immigration, then we will shine a light on it so you can make informed decisions. This show is proudly brought to you by Australian Immigration Law Services, the business I founded more than 24 years ago. In tonight's edition, we finally know the courses necessary for the extension of the 485 Graduate Skill Visa. Are partners of New Zealand citizens on the 461 visa disadvantaged by the new citizenship changes? Regional Australia calls foul over the new TSMT. How the 887 visa processing times was finally influenced by all the complaints. Backpackers upset over the application fee increases, the latest processing times updates, and we meet Australia's new mascot, now being sold to China to woo tourists here. At last, the details of the 3,264 courses eligible for the 485 Visa Extension Program have been released. We have provided a link to the official document in the description of this video. Those of you who complete one of these courses will apply for the 485 visa in the post-study workstream and obtain the extended 485 visa. The visa will be extended by 2 years to 4 years for selected bachelor degrees, 3 years to 5 years for selected master's degrees, and 4 years to 6 years for all doctoral degrees. Take note that this is only available to those who apply in the post-study workstream, not the graduate stream of the 485 visa. For those of you who currently hold a 485 visa and have completed one of these courses, then you'll be able to apply for a 485 visa extension at no cost from today. Unfortunately, it is not available to those 485 visas which have already expired before the 1st of July 2023. There are many courses on the list and you must be sure the appropriate CRICOS code matches the course you have or will complete. The CRICOS code can be found on your confirmation of enrolment, known as your COE. Many partners of New Zealand citizens who themselves are not New Zealanders but in Australia on 461 visas have voiced their displeasure towards the departments. They are now forced to go on to partner visa programs instead of being able to gain their Australian PR through the cheaper and faster 189 visa. There is also a feeling of neglect for not being allowed to apply for Australian citizenship with their New Zealand citizen partner. Now, while their partners will have access to citizenship if they have lived in Australia for 4 years, they in turn will get nothing. Once their New Zealand partner also becomes an Australian citizen, they can be sponsored for the 820/801 visa application, which will cost them nearly $10,000 in fees to do so. Not to mention the slow processing time of the 820 partner visa applications, now at an astonishing 34 months. Unfortunately, the Albanese government has no sympathy for this inconvenience as they express their opinion in the explanatory statement regarding the New Zealanders' access to Australian citizenship. In the statement it reads, "New Zealand citizens who acquire Australian citizenship through the new direct pathway are able to sponsor their non-New Zealand citizen family members for a permanent partner or child visa to remain in Australia as permanent residents. This does not amount to differential treatment as it is consistent with existing arrangements for Australian citizens to sponsor non-citizens." So there you have it. Unfortunately, they could not care less, and why does that not surprise me? Confusion about the TSMT rise and who is affected is leading to mass hysteria in regional Australia, where often wages are lower than $70,000. In The Australian this week, the opposition immigration spokesperson Dan Tehan seems confused. He is quoted as saying, "Any worker earning less than $70,000 after July 1 will have to get a pay rise, find a higher paying sponsored job, or leave the country when their current visa expires. Businesses sponsoring temporary workers will have to pay the new increased wage." Well, sorry, it does not work that way. First thing is first. Only new business visa sponsorship nominations lodged after the 1st of July need to meet the TSMT. Existing visa holders around the country remain at their current requirements and salaries. The downside is if your sponsored visa is coming to expire and a new nomination must be put in for you with a new visa application. Then the salary and contract in the nomination must be at least equal to the new Tismet. What this article highlights is, however, that the one level salary for the whole country is a disadvantage to regional areas. It defies common sense and is a restriction to regional growth that cities have taken advantage of now for years. It seems that those 887 visa applicants who protested the government over the long processing times did have an impact after all. As a result of those street protests, letter writing campaigns, even leaving messages on comments on the minister's Facebook page, the minister agreed upon the development of a streamlined processing arrangements. In a recent FOI request, it was interesting to see that back on the 5th of December last year, the Immigration Department agreed upon streamlining 887 visa applications. In the FOI, it said, the subclass 887 backlog and the uncertainty faced by applicants having to wait long periods of time to be granted permanent residency has been the subject of letter writing campaigns, media inquiries, and lobbying by members of parliament. There were about 10,000 visa applicants identified as benefiting from such a streamlined process out of the 18,000 then waiting for their visas to be granted. The minister agreed to streamline the assessment process to the live, work and study in regional Australia conditions placed in their 489 visas. So, people power wins again. But should such a struggle have even been necessary? Absolutely not. And let's hope such a dark chapter in visa processing is never seen again. With the increase of application fees starting today, it seems the backpacker community has been one of the strongest reactions to the price hikes. Articles of protests have been popping up in media outlets throughout Australia. However, when you look at the increase from $510 to $640, one has to wonder what all the fuss is about. But that did not stop 7 News from making a big story about it.
Australian farmers and hospitality employers are outraged at a federal government crackdown on backpackers, jacking up their visa fees by a whopping 25%.
They were ready to parade out farmers and hospitality workers to complain about the increase. However, really the presenters shot themselves in the foot with this statement.
When Guy's cherries are ripe and ready, young tourists get good money to pick them.
Backpackers do a great service to this country.
Yes, they do get paid good money, and an increase of $130 for a visa to allow people to work in Australia is hardly worthy of a protest in the news. Now, on a lighter note, Australia is pinning its hopes to attract Chinese tourists back to the country on a plush stuffed kangaroo called Ruby. She has already been unleashed on the worldwide marketing campaign for a while now, but has been sent to China this week to woo as many people as possible.
Ruby the kangaroo is a plush souvenir who's undeniably Australian. She's got a warm, friendly and playful personality, and we're confident that she's going to resonate with international audiences. After a really tough couple of years, Ruby's joy and uplifting demeanour is just what the world needs right now.
Now, Ruby is a far cry from the rough and ready Paul Hogan ads of the 1980s.
You look like you need a holiday, a fair dinkum holiday. In the land of wonder, the land down under.
And perhaps a little less cuddly than when Lara Bingle had the job. Let's all wish Ruby the best to persuade as many Chinese as possible. Now it's time to take a look at the processing times once again. You can see here from the comparison chart we have been keeping since February this year, the latest July numbers are not really impressive. For the 189 visa at 6 months, no significant change here. For the 190 visa at 8 months, the only significant drop in this group to be proud of. For the 491 visa at 17 months, a slight decrease, which is at least something. For the 489 visa at 47 months, a slight decrease, but considering the overall appalling wait time, nothing to congratulate the department on. For the 887 visa at 27 months, despite the streamlined processing arrangements, it is actually getting worse, which is unbelievable. Now for the 476 visa, it's at 43 months. We have received so many complaints about the processing of this 18 months visa, it's hard to imagine why they even took anybody's money in the first place for it. For the Fiance 300 visa, it is at 35 months, which has now gone backwards. And the 309 visa is at 29 months, and the A20 visa is at an astonishing 34 months. One has to wonder why Australian partners and fiancés even put up with these delays, and now they want to charge you an extra nearly $1,000. They should be embarrassed to do so. In fact, they should be offering a refund of 50% of the fees you paid for what only can be described as a deplorable service. Now we have also added the A20 visa to the list to keep an eye on that as well. The government has now been in charge for over 12 months and we have not seen a significant improvement of these visa processing times. Let's continue to keep an eye on them so you can get an understanding of what is really happening. This week I have to thank all of you for your fantastic words of support for the work we do here on this channel. And remember, it's not just me. We have a whole team here working to create these videos for you. Tonight's reader's comments comes from Josie. Does this zero income apply to the 494 visa holders as well? Thanks for your amazing video. Josie, thanks for the support in your comment. Since the 494 visa holders use the regional provisional stream of the 191 visa to obtain PR as well, yes, it means there is no minimum income requirement for you guys either. However, remember, your employer has the obligation to pay you the income that was stated in the nomination approval. Another busy week to keep up to date with all of these changes. Stay tuned to keep informed. If you need help, we are always here. Pick up the phone or go to our website to make an appointment. As always, take care out there and I'll see you next time. So bye for now.